Hello everyone, it's Twisted with the Open Sorcery, and today we're going to go ahead and delve into the topic of the angel Nitika, which, from my understanding, when it comes to the original mentionings of this angel, it comes from the Noctemeron, which I believe is credited to Apollonius of Tyana, and also, in a more so modern sense, Transcendental Magic by Eliphas Levi. Now, the way that I came across this entity, this angel, in terms of how I became, aware, is through the Encyclopedia of Angels by Rosemary Geely. I believe I'm going ahead and pronouncing her name correctly. It could be Geely, but in any case, right? There was one night when Divinium, Devi of, the same channel, Open Sorcery, and I went ahead and did some bibliomancy. And we were just going through that particular book, the Encyclopedia of Angels, and seeing where exactly, which entities, which angels we happen to go ahead and find ourselves landing on, and trying to find out, a couple different aspects of them, and that sort of thing, right? And doing divination subsequently as well, asking certain questions about particular ones, that caught our eye, caught our interest, for additional, hey, look, let's learn a little bit more about them. In any case, shortly thereafter, after coming across this particular angel, I went ahead and happened to get the idea popped in my head. However many days afterwards, that initial instance, I was like, you know what, I'm going to go ahead and type in Nitika Angel on YouTube and see what I find, right? And the reason I go ahead and mention this is it is in correlation to the actual usage of this angel. So, originally speaking, when it comes to what is stated in Noctemeron and in Transcendental Magic by Eliphas Levi, I believe, Nitika is stated to be a genius of precious stones, as they preside over the 6th hour. And when you go ahead and you type in Nitika Angel on YouTube, what you happen to find is a lot of different videos about Nitika being able to grant you wealth and money and that sort of thing, right? Apparently it was a text by Damon Brand that went ahead and popularized this usage of Nitika. I believe the name of the text was Magical Cash Book. And from my understanding, Damon Brand as an author, pretty good author in terms of different figures that I happen to follow of magical nature, happen to say, hey, look, Damon Brand, he puts out some good content. Now, that said, in this sort of thing, right, I went ahead and, pretty much brought this to Devi's attention, and we went ahead and was like, you know what? Why not just go ahead and ask the angel what they think in regards to usage, right? Because there's the traditional sort of usage and then the modern sort of usage that is stated. And, pretty much I'll go ahead and relay the findings that were made. And, of course, those who are intuitive, those who do divination, those who commune with different entities yourselves, go ahead and feel free to, do this yourself to confirm and or deny what it is that was stated. Now I'm about to relate to you. Communing this on behalf of Nitika themselves. So the first question, or first idea, you could say, is, so we went ahead and asked that since the original purpose that was stated for Nitika was for precious stones, which, you could say has some, quite a bit of monetary value to them, but more so, at least for me, I think of, the idea of, maintaining crystals, charging them in their upkeep, earth element, things within the natural world as opposed to monetary means and wealth. What exactly did Nitika think about this sort of thing? So, about being used for money, being used for, I believe some of the videos were saying, you could get, $6,000, straight up for calling upon Nitika, right? Or get some sort of big cash reward. So, Nitika's thoughts in regards to this are that people using them to gain money is something that they dislike very greatly, and they feel 100% used in a sort of sense. Like, hey, look, you're not coming to communicate with me. You're not coming to go ahead and engage with me, like, and learn who I am. Who I am as an individual, as a personality, what my talents and strengths are. You're just like, oh, I just want to get a quick buck and then get the hell out. To, I guess, phrase it the best that I can at the moment. And so then the question was asked, what does Nitika themselves have to say or feel in regards to being called upon continually for money, 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 as opposed to their assistance with tasks for, like, say a higher purpose, like high magic. And by that, I mean, like, hey, look, using crystals, using their natural affinity for crystals and utilizing them for spiritual enrichment as opposed to low magic, earthly enrichment. And for that, what we found was that this is something that they want to do, and that would be relaxing for them, and being like, hey, look, I can actually work within my own element. And, we then went ahead and asked if, anybody actually went ahead and spoken to them in this sort of way before, and the answer was a no, that they never worked truly as part of a team. Like, in terms of their history as an entity, as an intelligence, as, an archetypal being, whatever you want to go ahead and name or classify them as, they've pretty much been a gopher for certain types of magical workings, and then they just happen to go their own way. Like, oh, okay, yeah, this is my assignment, cool, I clock in, do what I need to do, clock out. So many people out there who work 9 to 5 jobs, you guys know what that's like. If you're not a fan of your job, you hate your job. It's like, oh, I'm just doing this thing, it's draining, and people are just coming to me for this sort of thing, and I don't like it. That's how Nitika apparently feels. And to that, I would say, when it comes to entities, we should be considerate of what it is that they wish to do. Like, get to know them, as opposed to just being like, oh, hey, look, they have a certain written, stated purpose. Instead of trying to get to know them some way, shape, or form, or develop an actual relationship, aside from just, we as humans, we want. Actually taking time to be, grateful, humble, appreciative, and be like, hey, look, what is it that you are willing to bring to the table that you feel comfortable in doing? And also, like, how can this be a symbiotic sort of relationship? And by that, many people think of offerings, think of like, oh, putting out food, something like that. But truth be told, like, literally all it can be is just like your energy, the fact that you're thinking about them, the fact that you're calling upon them, the fact that you're going ahead and engaging with them. Whether they're more so of a well-known, just using the realm of angels, like, say, an archangel like Archangel Michael, or even a lesser-known one such as Nitika themselves. Pretty much, I want to go ahead and say, generally speaking, like, I approach entities as if they're people. In the sense of, you want to show respect and understanding and tolerance to people in your engagements with them. And we should go ahead and do the same for these entities. So, to continue further with the findings of this divination session. So, when we asked, hey, look, after coming to the understanding of what it is that Nitika wants, to respect their intent and purpose, and to try to actually interact with them more so, and, let them be a part of the team, and so on and so forth. Like a team, just like working with others with consultation and, actual consideration for them and vice versa. They very much are willing to do that. And I will go ahead and say that, this obviously doesn't just apply to Devi and I. This applies to anybody happening to listen in, and to anyone who wishes to work with Nitika themselves, that money is cool and all. Going ahead and trying to do manifestation for low magic, it's cool and all, but there's got to be a balance, first and foremost, for yourself, and secondly, definitely should not be looking to do it at the behest, at the sacrifice of the well-being of another, whether it be another person or an entity. So, with that right there, the last sort of divination that was found in that session was, is this, like, was that divination session, and just generally speaking, like, subsequently me making this video, is this marking the change over from money to precious stones and such? And in doing so, we have, yes, and with that, the implication is that, Nitika, if we can go ahead and respect Nitika's intentions and go ahead and work with them more so, we can go ahead and free them from their, say, a repetitive 9 to 5 sort of mentality and feelings and being bogged down, and allow even themselves to evolve and elevate, and that sort of thing, and be within their own stated purpose and get that own sort of fulfillment, which, truth be told, my own logic will make the workings even more so powerful when it comes to crystals and stones and that sort of nature for whomever wishes to work with them, as opposed to just, go ahead and I'm going to help you with your money stuff and then just leave me the hell alone mentality that Nitika could have. So, with all that said, I know I went ahead and talked about a couple different topics there. Nitika, of course, as well as low magic and manifestation money, as well as the respecting and trying to comprehend and understand different entities, intelligences, and angels, and so on and so forth. So yeah, that was quite a bit. And, hopefully in going ahead and sharing this, that this will spark some thoughts, not only in regards to you with this particular entity, but maybe, your relationships with other entities, if you call upon them, whether it be any other archangels or angels in general, or, say gods, goddesses, demons, nymphs, any sort of intangible, ethereal beings or spirits, what have you, that if you're not necessarily going ahead and treating them with respect and kindness and understanding, you may want to go ahead and switch your approach. Just some thoughts. One additional thing I wish to go ahead and mention is that in regards to visualizing or calling upon Nitika themselves, right? Like color-wise, that is something you want to keep in the forefront of your mind if that is how you go ahead and interact with different intelligences through that means, is emerald green, or a rather vibrant green in of itself. So basically, just like the intended purpose that was stated of, precious, gems and such, that, Nitika is, specialized in and would like to be utilized for. Pretty much that color right there encapsulating the wealth and richness of the crystal of emerald itself. So, with that said, this is Twisted with Open Sorcery, and they frosty Niguses. Peace.